better classification is really important because first you have to know what you're doing right now. So to get a good perspective on current treatment, and especially also incidence and variations in incidence between countries, or variation in incidence between regions, for instance, Asia versus Europe, very different incidence and types of tumors over there and over here. And also the reason people get cholangiocarcinoma in Asia has many different causes than in Europe. So I think from an epidemiological point of view, it's really important to have a clear classification so you can compare regions and research very specifically. Furthermore, I think for treatment, it's also important for the non-specialist view. I think in many countries, cholangiocarcinoma is very confusing, and most really non-experts don't know exactly don't know exactly the ins and outs on this type of cancer. So if you get for instance, your chemotherapy in a non-teaching hospital or non-academic hospital, which is mostly the case, most of the time the classification is not right in those centers, and then all the data we get from the treatment is very confusing. So that's also a good reason to have a good classification. From a surgeon's point of view, and also as a researcher in the field, I have personal experience with misclassifications a lot. One of our PhD students was doing a study on neoadjuvant chemotherapy for a perihilar cholangiocarcinoma. It's a very interesting subject because a lot of patients have unresectable tumors, and perhaps with chemotherapy we can improve treatment. So we went to see which patients received chemotherapy for perihilar cholangiocarcinoma in our region. And it was really, really difficult to find out because we found a lot of patients with cholangiocarcinoma and a lot of patients who received chemotherapy, but the classification was really poor. So we didn't really know if patients were suffering from a perihilar or an intrahepatic. So it took a lot of time to find that out. And in some cases, we couldn't find the good classification, so we couldn't put that data in the analysis.